Okay, time for the Week 14 picks. Let's see if we can't make a little money. I like 3 games on Sunday, all 3 favorites. I took a long, hard look at all these games, looked at all the dogs, just couldn't come around on any of them. Carolina was the closest I came. I do have a feeling that Carolina plus 3.5 would be a good bet against Atlanta. Yeah, I always take a long, hard look at the underdogs. Obviously, the public usually likes the favorites. People like betting on good teams. I mean, no surprise there. Read a very interesting book a few years ago by handicapper Dan Gordon. Forget the exact name of the book, but it was a book on betting NFL football. And this guy is just an interesting strategy. He only bets underdogs, only. And his argument is, if you bet an underdog, you have 2 ways to win. They can either win the game outright or they can lose by less than the point total. You limit your chances to win when you bet on favorites. Nevertheless, my 3 games here, all our favorites. Want to start in Tampa Bay, where the Tampa Bay Bucks host the Philadelphia Eagles. Tampa is a 9-point favorite on BETDAQ, and I am on the Bucks. Listen, I know Tampa has a bad defense, or a bad secondary, I should say. They have an excellent front 7 on defense, 32nd in the league, though, in pass defense. But Philadelphia, with Nick Foles playing quarterback, I don't have much faith in them being able to pass the ball. Remember, Deshaun Jackson no longer there, out for the year. Really, the little bit of success the Eagles have found on offense over the last couple of weeks has been with their rookie running back, Bryce Brown. And I don't expect Brown to get much going on the ground against that great Bucks front 7. They are last in the league in pass defense, but they're first in the league in rush defense. And Tampa has an excellent offense, 4th in the NFL in points per game. Philadelphia, mentioned it a couple of days ago whenever we did the game preview for this game. Since the defensive coordinator changed, since they fired Juan Castillo and put Todd Bowles in there as a defensive coordinator, the Eagles have given up 28 points or more in every single one of their games. Philly is a sinking ship, and I plan to profit off of their misery. I am backing Tampa -9 in this game. I think it's going to get ugly by the second half. Next game, I like the Seattle Seahawks at home. They're hosting their division rival Arizona Cardinals. Seattle is a 10-point favorite in this game on BETDAQ, but I think they're going to cover that number. And I got to tell you, when I first saw this number, I thought it was big. I said, Seattle, they're so conservative on offense. I mean, playing a division opponent who's very familiar with them. Arizona's already beat them once this season. It wasn't week 1, but still Arizona won that game. It felt like a big number to me, but the more and more I look at this game, the more and more I like the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, listen, similar to the Philadelphia Eagles, the Arizona Cardinals, a great, great team to fade right now. Their offense, specifically their quarterback situation, is as bad as I can remember seeing in the NFL in years and years and years. And we know Seattle has a great defense. Now, their starting cornerback, Brandon Browner, will be serving the first game of his 4-game suspension this week. I don't think it's going to matter, though. Ryan Lindley, John Skelton, whoever Arizona trots out there at quarterback, I don't have any faith in. I think the Seattle defense just may outscore the Arizona offense in this game. And even though the Cardinals do have a good defense themselves, remember, the weakness of that Arizona defense is against the run. They're not very good against the run, and we know what Seattle likes to do. They like to run the football. They're going to run it right at the Cardinals. I think they're going to have success. Seattle's been the best home team in the NFL to back this season, 5-0, both straight up and against the spread at home. I think those streaks continue. I like Seattle -10 on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. My final game is the Sunday night game. Green Bay Packers hosting the Detroit Lions. Green Bay a 7-point favorite on BETDAQ, and I like the Packers. And I know that this season the Packers are not near what they've been the last couple of seasons on offense. I mean, they're not in the top half of the league in terms of total offense, which is stunning. But Greg Jennings, his 2nd game back now here this week. Detroit has not been good on defense at all this year, particularly in the secondary. Well, they haven't been very good against the run either. But, with all the big names on their defensive line, Sue and Nick Fairley, Kyle Vanden Bosch, Cliff Averill, you always expect them to be better in the front 7 than it turns out they are. I just think this is a good spot for Green Bay. The Packers desperately need this game. They're 8-4, tied with Chicago for first in the NFC North. Detroit, after losing a heartbreaker last week at home to the Indianapolis Colts, they're officially out of all playoff consideration. And I'm not sure Detroit is a real high-character team. I'm not sure this is the type of team that, even though they're out of it, they're still going to continue to fight and play hard. I think Detroit might be a good team to fade, just like these other 2 teams, Philadelphia and Arizona. These last couple of weeks of the season, I'm going to be looking at Detroit's opponents a lot because I don't like the direction this team is heading, especially now they're eliminated from all playoff contention. Detroit does pass the ball well. They lead the NFL in pass yards per game, but Green Bay is much improved on defense this year. Look, I don't think this game is going to be a blowout, but I feel very confident about Green Bay winning the game, and I think in the second half they're going to pull away and win this one by double digits. I am on Green Bay -7. Wouldn't be surprised. Their offense picked it up a little this week and maybe, just maybe, topped 31 points for only the second time this season. So there you have it. Those are my 3 games this weekend. Tampa Bay -9, Seattle -10, Green Bay -7. 3 favorites, all 3 laying a touchdown or more. We'll see how it works out. Certainly hope it works out well for me. But hey, I wish you the best of luck in whatever you decide to do, just so long as your interests don't conflict with my interests.